Okay, so in the previous session, we have learned about the different editions of the WebSphere. And along with that, we have learned how we can install the WebSphere using the installation manager and specifically using the user interface, graphical user interface. Okay, so in this session, we will learn how we can install the WebSphere and your IHS along with that plugins with the help of command line. Okay, so this is specifically used when you are working on some Unix-based system like Linux, where you don't have the user interface access. Okay, in that case, you can download and install your WebSphere using the installation manager. Okay, from the command line as well. Okay, so this command line utility is included with the installation manager. So that means for installation of the WebSphere, IHS, plugins, and even many more product from the WebSphere. Okay, so you have to first download and install the installation manager, which is specific to your operating system. For example, if you are on Windows, then there is specific installer of Windows for the installation manager, and if you are on the Linux, then there is a separate installer for the Linux. So you have to install that one. After installation, if you have access to the graphical user interface in the Linux, okay, so you can install the WebSphere and other products using the interface. Otherwise, if you do not have access to the interface, then you can install using the command line as well. So all these command line utilities or tools are included with the installation manager. Okay, so now after the download, once you have downloaded the installation manager and you would like to install it in the silent mode, okay, that means from the command line without the graphical user interface. For that, you have a command line tool which is called install c.sh for the Linux and .exe for the Windows. So this you can use for installation of the installation manager, okay, in the silent mode, as well as you can say from the command line without the graphical user interface. And the command is straightforward, which is install C and then hyphen accept license. So if you're on Linux, then you can run the dot slash because that is a script. And if you're in Windows, then you can directly run the exe file. So by using this command, it will take some time and then it will install the your installation manager automatically. Okay, so now when we talk about the installation of the other products, for example, like WebSphere and then IBM IHS, your plugins, and some many more software product from the uh, your IBM. Okay, so we have two methods. Okay, what we have learned in the previous sessions as well. We have one we can directly download from the repository. For that, we need internet access because it connect at the runtime to the repository and then download the softwares. Other option, if you have a valid IBM ID and associated site number, that means you will have a valid customer for that with the IBM. So once you have a valid customer identity, then you can download it from the Passport Advantage online website of the IBM. Okay, so that is only if once you have you are the customer of IBM and you have a valid IBM ID and then associated site number, then you can directly download from the website. Okay, so now that means if you have downloaded the software to your local repository, that means you have a repository which is a local because you have already downloaded the software. So in that case, the installation command would be a bit different in comparison with the online repository command. Okay, so that means we have both options. Using the command line tools, either you can install the software which is local, that means which is already downloaded in your system. Otherwise, you can use the online repository as well. For that, you need internet access from your machine. Okay, and if you have internet access, then you can, with the help of command line utility, you can download the direct software and install the software directly on your machine from the online repository. Right. So let me explain you both options, how you can use the command line tool for installation in case of a local repository as well as in case of an online repository. Okay. So for your online local repository, okay, the command is imcl. So this is the main command that we use, or you can say this is the main tool which we use for the installation of various IBM product. Okay, and this tool or this command line utility is part of your installation manager. Okay, and the location is once your installation manager is installed, and go inside the tools folder, and inside tool you will have a file called imcl.sh in Linux and .exe for the Windows. Right, so this tool or command we can use for the installation of various IBM WebSphere products. Right. So now suppose that you have downloaded, because now we are talking about the local repository. That means we have already downloaded the softwares in our local system, right? So that means in that case, if you would like to list the available package, right? So that means you would like to know the name of the package because that package name is required when you will install using the command line utility. Okay. So for that, the command is imcl and then list available packages where A in caps and P in caps. So imcl dot slash imcl if you're running on the Linux, and then you can directly run the imcl.exe if you're on Windows. Okay. And then list available packages hyphen repositories and the complete path of the location where you have downloaded the software. So now in the screen, you can see that for the first in the Linux case, it is opt IBM WAS and then was.repo.8550.nddrall underscore part 1. So this is the location where 8550 version of this particular WAS is downloaded. Okay, so here you can see that we have a 3 disk and then some other files are configuration files are there with respect to the installers. Okay, so this command is same whether you are going for a 8.5 version of the WAS or maybe you are going for a 9.x version. There is no difference. Only difference is that you have to specify the corresponding folder. Okay, otherwise there is no difference in the commands. So similarly, if you are in a Windows, then the command is same, but instead of the imcl dot slash, you have to run the imcl.exe and then list available packages hyphen repositories is the command, and then you can specify the complete path of where you have downloaded the software. And then if you run this command, then it will give the name of the package that is there for the WebSphere. Okay. So now this is the package that we will use, or you can say this is the package name that we are going to use when we are going to install the IBM WebSphere using the command line tool, which is the IMCL. Okay. So similarly, you can use it for IHS plugins and for other products as well. You just need to specify the location of the software which you have downloaded. Okay. And then it will tell you the package name. Now for the installation of the WebSphere using the command line. Okay, the syntax is in Linux dot slash imcl. So imcl is the tool which we have discussed, and then high space and then the install command. After install command, you have to give the complete package name that we have received in the previous command. Let me go back. So this is the command we have run to list the available package. So this is the same package name you have to specify here. Then hyphen repositories, and because we have downloaded the software in the location which is local to our machine, right? Then you have to specify the complete path of that. So inside that you will have a file called repository.config. So this repository.config we always use when we do the installation of the software which is local, that means which we have downloaded in our system. Okay, so location, and let me go back and let me show you. So here you can say at the top right corner the where the files are listing. So inside that folders, you will see a file repository.config. So this will come with the installation. Okay, once you will download it. And this file is used as a reference for the installation. Okay, so this complete path we have specified in the hyphen repositories. Okay, and then hyphen accept license, hyphen show progress, and then hyphen record and the name of the XML file. So record will be just to log the installation output. Okay, whatever the installation output is there, that will be logged in the hyphen record file. So this is the command that we use for the installation of the WebSphere from the command line. Okay, and in Windows also the option is same. Only difference is that instead of im dot slash imcl, you have to use the imcl dot exe, and rest of the syntax is same. Okay, now you can see on the screenshot, it will take some time for the installation, and when it is completed, okay, it will show you the location where the IBM WebSphere is installed. Right, so this is the location, default location of the WebSphere installation when we install using the command line in the Windows. And what is the location on Linux that we are going to see with the execution. Okay, so once this theoretical session is completed, then we'll go for the execution, and then in that execution, I will show you on the Linux machine how to execute all this command and where it get installed. Okay, so this is the way how we do the installation. Okay, similarly, if you are doing the installation of IHS. Okay, so the process almost same. There is no difference. Only thing is that instead of the WebSphere installation directory, we have to specify the IHS installation directory where you have downloaded the IHS on your local system. Right. So first you can list the repository in the same way we have listed for the WebSphere, the IMCL, then list available packages, hyphen repositories, and hyphen repository we have specified the complete path of the IHS directory instead of the WebSphere. And then you will have a repository.config. So this file will always be there for each and every product, okay, which will be used in the hyphen repositories option for the installation. So once you will run this command, then you will see the you can see in the output on the screen, you will see the package name, right? and then that package you can use for the installation. Now, for the installation command is exactly same. Only one difference is that when you are doing the installation of IHS, then you have to specify the STT port in the command line. Otherwise, you will get the error. Right. Otherwise, there is no difference. The command is same. imcl install. The name of the package hyphen repository is the complete path of which include the repository.config file hyphen accept license hyphen show progress, and along with that, the new parameter for your IHS is hyphen properties user.ihs.http port equal to 80. So here you have to specify the port on which you are going to install your IBM HTTP server, which is IHS, right? And you can see the output on the screen for the Windows, where I have given the port 8081. So this is the way how you can install the IHS using the command line. It's almost the same as we have done for the WebSphere. Okay. So only difference is that we have seen a new parameter here, hyphen properties, where we specify the port for the web server. Right. Now, if we come to the plugins for IHS plugins or your IBM web server plugins, okay, again, the process is completely same. Okay. Only difference is that we have to specify the directory name of the IBM plugin software. Okay. And apart from that, the complete command is same what we have seen in the installation of the WebSphere. Right. So the for listing the repository is imcl list available packages hyphen repository is the complete path of the location where you have a repository.config file for your plugin software. And for installation, imcl install and then package name that we have received in the previous command. Hyphen repository is the complete location of the repository.config file. Hyphen accept license and hyphen show progress. Okay, and as you can see on the screen, once it is completed, okay, it will show you the default location as well where exactly it is installed. Okay, and this we are going to see in the execution. When we will install in the Linux machine, then we'll see when we are installing the WebSphere and then OHS and this plugins, then what is the default location where it is getting installed automatically. Okay, right? Because we are not specifying the any location here for the installation, right? Now we have seen for the local. So now let us see how we can directly install the softwares from the online repository using the same command line utility. Okay, so now when installing or updating an IBM product using installation manager and the hyphen repositories option point to an IBM HTTP URL, you will need to provide your IBM username and password. So now what is the difference is coming when we talk about the local and the online repository. So whenever we install the software using the installation manager in the graphical interface, what you have seen in the previous session as well, we have to provide the username and password because it is runtime. It connect with the IBM website and it authenticate you with the username and password that you have provided, and then it will download the software, right? So now if we are going to install with the help of command line utility, that means we have to provide the username and password as well when we are going to install it directly from the online repository, right? So for that, we have two options. The first option, when you are running the command for the installation, you can specify the hyphen prompt option. So when you will specify the hyphen prompt option, it will give you prompt you for to provide the username and password of the IBM website. Right. Second, if you don't want to use the hyphen prompt option and you would like to have the authentication automatically from certain files, for that you have an option hyphen secure storage file and then hyphen master password file. So these two options we can use for the download and installation directly from the online repositories. So with the help of that, we don't need to provide the username and password every time. But before that, we have to create two files, right? Which we will going to specify with the secure storage file and the master password file. So let us see how we can execute this command and how we create different files. So if you are going to have with the hyphen prompt option, then the command is same imcl. If you are going for the listing of the repositories, then list available package hyphen repositories. So in the local repositories, we have given the complete path of our repository, right? So now here what we are giving the repository URL. Right, this we have seen in the previous session, how you can get this repository URL from the IBM website, right? This is available for the public information from the IBM as well. So you can take that URL and you can specify that in the hyphen repository and then hyphen prompt. So with the help of hyphen prompt, it will prompt you for the username and password. You can give the username and password, and if it is authenticated successfully, then your software will be downloaded. Right. And apart from that, you have an option you can where you can provide the hyphen secure storage file and hyphen master file instead of using the hyphen prompt. And then if you, with this command, you have to give the complete path of the secure storage file and master password file. So once you will specify this one, you don't need to provide the username and password at the runtime, right? So now let us see how we can create these two options. Okay, so no need to provide your IBM username and password if the repositories option point to local directory. That means we have seen in the previous slides, when we are using the hyphen repositories option for the local directory, that means the local software which we had already downloaded, then we don't need to provide the username and password because the software is already on our local system, right? So now let us see how we can create the secure storage file and master password file. So what we can do, you can create the master password file, and which will contain the plain text of your username, IBM ID username. Okay. And second, you have to create a storage file. So for creating the storage file, you have to run this particular command. Okay. And what are the options that you have to provide here to create this secure storage file is the utility for creating this secure storage file is imutils.c. Okay, imutils.sc or .sh in Linux. So this utility again in the same location, tools directory of your installation manager. Okay, and the command is imutilsc.exe in Windows. Save credentials hyphen URL. This URL is the repository URL. Hyphen username. This is the username of your IBM ID. Password of your IBM ID with the hyphen user password. And then in hyphen master password file, you have to create, or you can specify the file which you have created above with the plain text password. And with hyphen secure storage file, you have to provide a location for the secure storage. Okay, run this command and then it will take some time, and after that you will see a message successfully save the credentials to the secure storage file, and then secure storage file will be get created, right? So master password file we have already created manually by giving the password, right? And then secure storage file is automatically created by with the help of this particular command. So now we have the secure storage file and master password file is in place. So when we are going to run the command for the download of the software, then it is not going to prompt you for the username and password. So now what you can do, instead of providing the hyphen prompt, you can give the path of secure storage file and master password file. So here you can see that if you run the list available packages, then it will give you a long list of packages from the IBM website. Whatever the latest packages are available or with respect to JDK, WebSphere, your ND, application server, everything will be displayed with the help of this command. Right. So in the local repository, we have given the path of our local repository. But what we are giving here, we are giving the complete repository path URL of the online URL, and then we have specified the secure storage file and master password file so that we don't need to specify the username and password, and it will give the complete list of packages. So you can take any of the packages, whatever you would like to install, and then you can run the installation command. Okay, so now install WebSphere ND from the IBM service repository. So now if you would like to install the WebSphere ND network deployment, okay, so now what you can do, you can run the command imcl and then install and the package. So if you would like to download the multiple package, then you can specify the name of the packages by giving the space. Okay, and the package name we have received in the previous command, this one. Right, here we have a list of packages. From here, you can take the name of package, which is the latest one, and then run this command. Okay, and then hyphen repositories, it is the complete URL of the repository. Installation directory where you would like to install the WebSphere. So here, what we have seen in the local repositories, we have not specified any path. So by default, it will take some location. But when we are installing with the help of online repositories, then we are giving the path for the installation. Okay, with hyphen installation directory. So this is the location where WebSphere will get installed. Okay, so that means package will automatically get downloaded from the online repository, and then it is going to be installed inside the location we have specified. Then hyphen shared resource directory. This is a shared location where it installed multiple shared software, which is same across the multiple products. And then hyphen accept license, hyphen show progress, and then we can specify the secure storage file and master password file, which we have created in the previous slide. Right. After that, it will take some time to download the software and then to install the software. And when it is done, then you can see that the message installed particular package to the location. For example, whatever the location we have specified. Right. So this is the way how you can directly download the software from the online repositories, as well as you can from the local repositories as well, using the command line tools. Thank you.